And we're actually running about 4, 5, 6 degrees within the maximum. So cooling is like we'll enable an overheat protection. And the temperature dropped pretty high there. Oh, the maximum got up to 96. Temperature dropped. It is still dropping, so should go down significantly once this rendering is done, pretty much. Because it's not under 100% load anymore, so. But that's 96 degrees is pretty close to the maximum. I've had machines melt down before. So, yeah, it's not really cool when you see something like that. That is hot. In fact, these 96 degree temps are probably the hottest I've ever seen in a system since then. It is still getting pretty hot. It's getting pretty up there to 100 degrees, and I'm hoping that it can get through this rendering job before it hits 100. Because as soon as it hits 100, it's going to shut itself off, hopefully, if it works. So just for a reference, took a look at overclock.net, which is a great source for these kinds of things. TJ Maxx is the sensor, and if it gets to 100 degrees, it will shut down or throttle the CPU, or whatever it does. And I've never actually, outside of one instance, I've never had it reach that. I had it reach that with my I had it reach that with the L300D several times. But the temperatures that I'm running this at right now are not safe, or not considered safe. Safe temperatures are anything that is 20 degrees under the TJ Maxx or lower. Which TJ, by the way, stands for, I believe it's like thread junction or something. Oh, junction temperature maximum. Sorry. That temperature junction maximum. I don't know why they call it TJ and not JT, but whatever. Anyway, you can see it's running at about like 96 degrees, 95. Sometimes it goes down. But it is doing some intense rendering at this point. Sony Vegas is running it pretty close, or it's running it at its rated clock speed. This isn't exactly a great CPU to begin with in a system that has a not-so-great fan. A fan that has had problems in the past. So, hopefully that it works, because I will not be very happy if this thing shuts itself off and I have to re-render the entire video, because it's taken 7 hours from now. And that's just really, that would be really annoying if I have to take another render of this, because it's a lot of work and a lot of waiting when you're trying to render a video on an old system like this. So you're about 8 minutes left in rendering, and temperatures are starting to creep back up again. They dropped, like it keeps doing that, it gets like up there and then it just drops, and then it like just rises up again, so it's been doing that for a while. Heard the fan kick in. It still hasn't reached that critical temperature, which is 100 degrees. And I have it set so that once it hits 898, it shuts it down. It shuts the system off. So, or core temp will shut the system off. By the way, do not try this at home. I am a professional idiot. If you encounter something like this, where your temperatures just are like really, really high, like 90, high 90s. I don't know what was up with that, like 78, or what I thought was a 78. But anyway, temperatures are like that. Get a fan. Put a fan, run a fan near it. If this were in the summer, this thing would have shut off already, because it is only about 21 degrees in this bedroom right now. 21.9 in here. That's what the temperature is in here. If it were summer, it'd be somewhere up in like, I don't know, 28, 29 degrees in this bedroom. Maybe high 30s on a really hot day outside. So, yeah. This thing probably wouldn't stand a chance in high heat like that. So, I would probably get a fan, run a fan near it, and make sure that something like this doesn't happen, because you don't know what it's sitting on right now. That plastic trolley that it's sitting on right now could melt at high temperatures like this. So, yeah. About that. It's not really safe. And I'm not even running it at safe temperature either. It has to be at 80 or below in order to be safe temperature here. And I'm running it at like 95, 96. So it's not safe. Alright, so we're starting to approach the end of the process now. Temperatures have dropped since you last saw them. But it still hasn't gotten below that 78 degree, and it still hasn't gotten above that 96 degree level. And I'm hoping that it doesn't. So now we can just wait until that counter stops. There we go, it stopped. And watch the loads drop now, and the temperatures drop as well. Close that, and I can also close this program. Well, actually, I can zap it. Close this program down. You can see the temperatures are getting to a minimum at this point. Now all I have to do is move that file over, which is going to happen right now. By comparison, this is the Acer system that runs basically around the clock. As you can see, all of the information about it. And you can see that it also has a TJ max of 100 degrees, but it has never come anywhere close to that, even when it was doing video editing. 62 degrees is the hottest it's ever been. So I'm definitely not pushing that Acer to its limits, and it runs for longer than this one does. And that file is done, so I can pretty much close this, come over here, shut the system down, and be done with all that. Making a lot of noise, that's for sure. "55 degrees is the last reading that we have on this thing. Shut that off. And let it cool itself off overnight, because it is still pretty warm. It's a hard drive. Probably one of the loudest head stacks I've heard on a modern hard drive. And it's off. So it's not as hot as it was when we first started, but it is still pretty hot. and it will be hot all night, and then it'll be cold in the morning by the time I get up, so be able to use it for more video editing tomorrow.